For years, there have been rumors about the government creating deadly viruses for sinister purposes. Some say that they did it to control the population, others say that it's simply for research and development. But what if all of those rumors are true? What if COVID was in fact created by humans? Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of Prime Time TV. If you are new to our channel, then make sure to hit that subscribe button and bell icon to never miss receiving notifications whenever we post a new video. We're not one to believe in conspiracy theories, but there's something about this COVID pandemic that just doesn't add up. After doing some research, we've come to the conclusion that it's possible that this whole thing was engineered by humans. In this video, we're going to present the evidence that supports this theory. So stay tuned if you don't want to miss out on this shocking discovery. Since the coronavirus first surfaced at the end of 2019, more than 6.5 million individuals have perished. Countless others have suffered. Entire economies have been destroyed, and schools have been closed. Why? Did the virus transfer from an animal to its initial human host, patient zero? Or, as others speculate, was the tragedy the consequence of a lab mishap in Wuhan, a city in central China with a population of 11 million? In January 2020, Christian Anderson, an infectious disease specialist at Scripps Research in San Diego, started monitoring the virus. The level of contagion surprised and alarmed him. Its affiliation with a genus of coronaviruses frequently discovered in bats in southern China was already known to Chinese researchers. It was more distantly related to MERS, another bat coronavirus, and shared 80% of its genome with the first SARS. But this new virus was spreading much more quickly, and by the end of the month, it had infected at least 26 nations. According to Anderson, it seemed to be locked and loaded for causing the pandemic. Although some viruses that are circulating in the wild can be fatal, the majority are not very effective at spreading. The SARS-CoV-2 genome appeared inconsistent with expectations from evolutionary theory, according to an email sent by Anderson to Fauci, the former chief medical advisor, and others on January 31, 2020, that was obtained by BuzzFeed News. A zoonotic spillover. In a letter that was published by Nature Medicine, Anderson and a select group of his colleagues argue that SARS-CoV-2 naturally spread from a bat and developed into a pandemic virus, either in an animal host or, unnoticed, in people. Our analyses unmistakably demonstrate that SARS-CoV-2 is not a virus that has been tampered with or created in a lab. The researchers concluded it had a significant impact. The scientific community came to the conclusion that the virus most likely originated from a natural zoonotic spillover in the months that followed. And this conclusion was echoed by several mainstream media outlets. Not everyone was sold on the theory of natural origin as the pandemic gained momentum. There has yet to be discovered species that would serve as an intermediary between bats and people for a zoonotic spillover. At first, it appeared that the fish, produce, and meat sold at Wuhan's Huanan market was where SARS-CoV-2 originated. Huanan was associated with nearly 1/3 of the original 174 cases. Patient zero probably wasn't, despite this. He was a middle-aged accountant with the last name Chen, who began exhibiting symptoms on December 8 and frequently shopped at a supermarket across the river, according to Chinese officials. The Chinese Center for Disease Control and Prevention's George Fu Guo stated in May 2020, "At first, we assumed the seafood market might have the virus, but now the market is more like a victim." The novel coronavirus had been around for a while. A research lab accident? In late 2020, circumstantial evidence that the pandemic might have originated from a lab accident in Wuhan started to mount. There were no longer any WIV online datasets available. Details about a previous outbreak had been omitted, and WIV researchers were using engineered viruses in their experiments. Even Anderson admitted that it is a crazy coincidence that the virus first appeared in Wuhan. A number of eminent researchers called for an origins investigation that took the lab leak hypothesis seriously in a letter that was published in Science in May 2021. Then, according to reports from US intelligence sources, 3 WIV researchers became ill in November 2019 with symptoms resembling COVID-19 and sought medical attention. President Biden responded by urging a probe into the causes of the pandemic. The virus did not originate as a biological weapon. It appeared unexpectedly and caught Chinese authorities off guard, and it infected people no later than November 2019, with the first known cluster of COVID-19 cases arising in Wuhan, China, in December, according to an unclassified summary of the investigation's findings that was published in August. A natural exposure to an infected animal and a laboratory-associated incident were the only other origin theories that all agencies agreed were still plausible. In order to start the initial phase of its investigation into the origins of SARS-CoV-2, the World Health Organization dispatched a group of international scientists to Wuhan in January. The most likely origin pathway, according to the group's report, was a zoonotic spillover from a bat to an intermediate animal to a human. With only 3 of the primary reports more than 100 pages devoted to the theory, they concluded that a lab incident was extremely unlikely. Evolution can accomplish anything we can think of, as well as everything we cannot, given enough time. By referring to viruses as zoonotic, we obscure our contribution to their evolution, whether it occurs in the wild, a wet market, or a lab. When humans are involved in everything, what does an ecological niche even mean? Human nature is part of the astounding diversity of nature. Somehow, SARS-CoV-2 managed to establish itself in our ecosystem. If you found the video informative, don't forget to hit that like, share and subscribe button. See you in our next video.